I won't lie, guys. These readings are tough for me. And not in a readable sense, but what I need to hear as a priest and as a Christian. Vanity of vanities, oh, everything is vanity. You who accumulate for no purpose. And so all three readings deal with this idea of detachment. All of us in this church deal with something that we hold on to maybe just a little bit too much. And for me, as a young priest, as a young man, I love buying stupid stuff. I love it. I love it. I love impulsive buying. Anytime I see a t-shirt that has a cheeseburger or ice cream or a dinosaur, I want it. I want it bad. And I do buy it. Why do all my shirts look like they belong to someone that should be 12 years old? I'm 32. I can't help myself. I'll give it a more recent example. So Nintendo just released the new Switch. I know a lot of people in here don't care, but I do. I geeked out over it. I was like, yes, I need that. And when it finally came out, maybe about a month or two ago, I went to Best Buy, and they were everywhere. And for you guys that play video games, you know for a fact, whenever there's a new release for something, it disappears. It's terrible. It took me 2 years to get a PlayStation 5. But this time was different. There were Nintendo Switches everywhere. And as I was about to pick one up, I thought, wait a minute. This can't be good. Why is no one buying these? Normally someone will at least buy it and then resell it for like $200 more. Animals. And so I let it go. And then the next day, I go to the store and I realize that just out of circumstance, I was lucky to see that, because everywhere else I went to, they were gone. And suddenly, it meant a lot to me. I was devastated. I needed it in my life. And I remember thinking, man, my life would have been so much better if I just bought that stupid Switch. And you know what happened? I got an ad from Sam's Club. It said, we have new stock, Nintendo Switch 2 this past week. And without even thinking about it, I think I was in the middle of helping someone in my office. I was like, just 1 second, this is really important. This really means a lot to me, I'm sorry. And I look at that thing, it's like $400, I put it in my cart. I'm like, I gotta buy something else too. I gotta get the controllers. I need all of that stuff. Of course, this single celibate priest needs 8 controllers to play with his friends. And so as I'm filling up my cart, I'm like, what am I doing? I didn't care about this at all. And then suddenly it's the most important thing to me. So I take out all the controllers and I'm like, I don't need this. And as I exit out of that screen, it says, oh, if you don't click now, it'll go back into the stock. And I'm like, you're right. So I buy it, I buy it. You're clapping. You're clapping. I buy it. And so it just got delivered yesterday. I delivered it to my parents' house. I was panicking. I was actually in a meeting at Bishop Gorman, learning what it was like to be the chapel there. And I was like, oh, wait a minute, sorry. Something important came up. Just give me a second. I'm calling my poor sister. She's not even at home. She's at work. I need you to leave work early and make sure my Switch is safe. And so I get it. Oh man, it's awesome. I open it, I stare at it, I'm like, why did I buy this? What is wrong with me? I didn't care about this at all when there was 100 of them at Best Buy. But suddenly in that moment, because out of impulse and because I have no shame, I had to buy it. And so it's still unopened in my room. I woke up this morning before Mass and I'm like, why would I do that? What is wrong with me? But that's how quickly things get in the way of our relationship with God. I'm not just saying that because I'm a fool who likes t-shirts with cheeseburgers on them, Or I want to play the new Donkey Kong once this Mass is over. And I will play that Donkey Kong. It's reasonable for any of us, not just me, but anyone in this church to struggle with some capacity of being attached to something. It can even be a good thing. We can be overly attached to our friends, to our partner, to our boyfriend or girlfriend. We can be attached to certain groups or even people in our family we can have an over-attachment to. It doesn't just have to be things. And so the readings today are very poignant. Does any of this matter to God? Does God care that tonight I'm going to try and beat Donkey Kong? Does he care that I get the new t-shirt that has some stupid logo on it? Does he care that I wasn't able to get Switch on release, but now I can get it? No. And yet, even for me as a young man and as someone trying to be a good priest, I easily get distracted from my relationship with God. I look for things to distract me. I'm too busy, I got X, Y, Z going on. I don't want to fill up my schedule with things that might take me away. When in fact, these are the things that God is calling out to us for. What in your life is separating you for your relationship with me? And so Jesus reminds us in the gospel as well. A young man asked Jesus to be his arbiter. I didn't even know what that word meant. A young man says, "My brother will not share his inheritance with me." Don't you feel like that's unjust, Jesus? And Jesus, a master of parable and story, basically said, I don't care. I don't care about that at all. And he uses the example of a man who's so wealthy, who has a large farm, who has all the food that he could eat. He could have all the possessions in the world. And he has an opportunity here. Your barn has become so full that nothing can be in there anymore. You have so much that you couldn't possibly eat this for generations upon generations. And so what do? I got it. I'll take down the barn and build a bigger one for more stuff. And then next time I'll build an even bigger barn on that. There's always going to be something bigger and better and more awesome. A couple years from now, I'm probably going to fall into the same trap of the Nintendo Switch 3 when it comes out. Some new iteration of a game that I haven't even played yet, and suddenly it's become the most important thing in my life. That's how life works. It's quick to distract ourselves on little things that are frivolous and unimportant. I'm not saying that our families or our groups or our friendships are unimportant, but at the same time, if it's taking us away from our relationship from Jesus Christ, if we've gotten so caught up in specifics and particulars, then what are we doing? None of that matters to me. None of it matters to God. He says that very explicitly in the gospel. I don't care what you have. I don't care if you're rich and wealthy or poor. I don't care if you're smart or dumb. It doesn't matter what circumstance of life that you have. What I care about is that you're faithful. And so earlier this week, we celebrated the feast of St. Ignatius of Loyola, who says this: we should not prefer health to sickness, wealth to poverty, honor to dishonor, but desire and choose only what is more conducive to the end for which we are created. And so I won't lie to you guys, I don't know what I'm going to do with that Switch. I've probably played my PlayStation less than 15 times. I don't even know why I bought that either. But it is a reminder in my own life of what do I need to prioritize in order to grow in holiness, right? God doesn't expect sainthood to just happen overnight. It's the fine-tuning of our daily decisions each and every single day. The small yeses suddenly become bigger, more holier ones. The things that we deny ourselves of suddenly don't become that important. And what truly matters, which is Jesus Christ, suddenly becomes all the most important, which we could live our lives out for. Amen.